Howdy everyone, Runt9 here, and welcome to Runt9 Plays Poker Quest. This is a poker-driven roguelike game from PlaySource that came out about a month ago, and picked it up a few days ago. Been playing a little bit offline. You can see that I have some very early, pretty bad high scores, and I was in the middle of a run last night when I ended up needing to go to bed, but we're just going to start in fresh here, and we'll kind of get the feel for the mechanics as we go through. I've unlocked 3 characters so far. You start off with the knight. Been playing a little bit with the rogue, and the mage is an option as well. I don't really want to learn a new character, so why don't we just play the rogue, and I don't have any points. Yep, currently clear the run. So the mechanics of this game remind me a lot of Dicey Dungeons, for those of you who might have played that one in the past. We do have a shop available right out of the gate. 4 chips, Enchantress. Imbue your items with powerful enchantments. I haven't actually seen this one before, so in that case, I'll take the coin upgrade, and then let's see what the Enchantress might offer. Reduce an item's lock and unlock. 15 to raise an item's number of cards allowed or required by 1. May ruin bonuses. So... and I'll explain this once we get into a battle, but essentially what this could allow us to do is make the knife accept 2 cards and deal damage equal to the sum of both of them. Which would be pretty powerful considering that as this upgrades, the attack becomes multiplied. Add a line in this item untargetable, which is good. So basically, if you guys have seen Dicey Dungeons before or whatnot, you can have your items essentially cursed or have them burning where they deal damage to you. Attack 10 is also pretty strong. Honestly, adding that one directly onto knife as well, where no matter what you put in there, you're getting an extra 10, but I want to give this one a try. Yeah, knife up to 2 cards. And then we could technically add untargetable to it as well, but I feel like that's a bit much. Or actually, I don't know if you can enchant something more than once. From an upgrade perspective, number of cards drawn is usually something I go for right away. So let's jump into our first battle, and I'll get a chance to show off some of the mechanics of the game. Why don't I move my camera just a little bit? Put it right about there. I feel like that'll work. All right, so the way this game works is you have these items, and this is basically the majority of what you can do during a given turn. You're fighting an enemy just like you would in, Slay the Spire, Dicey Dungeon, something like that. And each of you draws a hand of cards from a normal deck of playing cards. And to some extent, you're utilizing certain poker mechanisms in order to use your items. So the 2 items that you start off with as the rogue is, by default, the knife is 1 card where you drag the card onto it and you deal damage equal to the number on it. And Shank of Hearts is a 2-card straight. So if you do 5, 6, you could drag a 5 and a 6 onto it. And then it deals damage equal to twice the sum of those cards. So if you drag a 5 and a 6 on here, that sums up to 11, you would deal 22 damage to your enemy. It's got a cooldown of 1, and it doubles the attack damage if cards are hearts. You've got HP, energy, which each class has, or I guess hero is probably the right term. Each hero has a different energy ability. In this case, I can spend energy to steal a card from an opponent, which they draw a hand and have their own sets of items that they get to use. And then gems, you can spend a gem to draw 2 cards, and that's one of the upgrades you can get as well, is you can upgrade the amount of gems that you draw, or the amount of cards you draw from gems. Number of cards drawn each turn is currently 2, which is not great. Ace 2 does count as a 2-card straight, which would allow us to deal 26 damage straight to their face. I'm gonna say that's pretty good. The question being, is there a play for stealing something? I think we'll go ahead and do the damage real quick, and then why don't we steal a jack and an 8 and deal another 18. And so we regenerate 2 energy each node on the map that we move. So there's 18, and they're dead right away. The rogue doesn't start off with any blocks, and you generally want to be able to block damage. May sacrifice some life for a reward, absolutely. Random item, gems, or food. So you use food. I honestly completely forgot that you can use food to heal. You use up one food each step on the world map that you travel. And if you run out of food, you start taking health and energy damage. I will definitely sacrifice for an item. Any cards adding to at least 7, draw 2. So that gets equipped right away. That's pretty good. Draw is very, very valuable. You also have some consumable items sometimes. In this case, the rogue starts off with something that can apply vulnerable, which is 50% increased damage. Consumables can get refilled at various places. 5 to restore. Nah, we'll just go into a battle against this guy. So basically, this guy has to have 2 cards where one card is 10 Jack Queen King and the other is an ace. Okay, so this is a very specific has to be 2 cards, not just sum of cards equal 21. So in this case, we can dump our 7 to draw 2 more. We've got a 10 Jack, that's a 40 damage attack right there. And then, honestly, I'll go ahead and just steal the queen and hit you for another 18, and then you're easily dead next turn. So rogue is definitely a glass cannon. The knight starts off with the ability to block some damage, which can be very, very nice to have. So we can pay 5 to get enhanced kings. It's pretty good. Essentially what this means is kings by default, and all face cards are this way, jacks, queens, and kings all count as 10 for the purposes of things like attack damage and whatnot. This makes kings worth 5 more. So kings are now worth 15, which certainly doesn't hurt. We can take 5 chips or battle and get 3 chips and a gem. I think I'll just take the free 5 chips. And we need 16 in order to increase our card draw. 5 and a food and a gem. You've got a lot of HP and could potentially hit us pretty hard. Totaling to 49. We got pretty lucky there, honestly. We are full on energy, so if I steal an ace, we can do an ace 2 card straight, boom. Ditch the jack and hope we draw enough where it ends up doing more damage. Double 10s, so we can just smack you for 20. That said, you are looking at hitting us for 50, so why don't we draw 2, consume, grab your ace away, and hit you for 21. And then 7 queen is not enough to kill you. You've got 38 showing, so this literally can't hit 50. So why don't we ditch that, and we can hit you for 20. And we could steal something and do a 2-card straight, but we should be able to kill next turn, and we are able to kill next turn. Easy enough. Moving onwards, and we are 1 away. No, that does allow us to upgrade our card draw to 3. Which, at least in my opinion, is pretty important, especially for things like the 2-card straight, since the more cards you have, the more likely you are to actually get that. We'll throw that out, draw 2 cards, 3, 5, 7. Almost got a straight, but almost doesn't count. 3 red cards is attacking for 13. So this card is hidden. We don't know what it is. There are abilities that allow you to see hidden cards. In this case, it might be a red card. I think what I want to do in this case is use some energy to grab the jack. That way we can do a 10 jack for 40 damage and then smack you for 12 otherwise. 2 cards hidden, 2 red showing. Likelihood of having a 3rd red is reasonably high. We'll ditch that, draw 2. We've got king ace, which is a nice chunky 26 hit there. 3 black cards, so the next attack is going to be doubled. We've got a 6-7 that'll hit for 26, and they are dead. Fortunately, got out of there before we took damage. So castles, you get halfway through a given world. We have a traveling blacksmith along the route. I need 5 poker chips in order to upgrade knife, and it is absolutely the first upgrade target. but we will not be able to pay for that right now. So castles usually have a bunch of different things. In this case, we've got a shop, which is going to have some cool items. Could actually get this. One black card, inflame all for the sum of the card and draw one. So it even replaces the card that you use. On sale for 50% off. Actually a pretty solid card to shove into our build. The problem is, right now we are full up, and I like having the current setup we've got. So we would need to upgrade our item slots. Dungeon, you can go in here, fight a couple powerful enemies, and get a decent amount of loot. Tavern can gain some food, unveil locations, restore a little HP. Mine, we can get some gems. And flea market, we can trade some stuff for other stuff. And this is usually fairly random. 6 energy for 4 food is actually pretty nice, and I'll also trade gems for food. I've run out of food once before, and it generally, you're given so many opportunities to avoid it that it feels bad when you do, because it's like, I absolutely did not need to take this unnecessary damage. So we've got an attack 10 and no, it's only going to be the curse 19. Unless this is also a black card, in which case they would do this. I haven't seen confounded. Cannot remove curse, and the curse value is increased by 25% per turn. Okay. So the way curse works is basically it puts a number on the item, and you take that much damage each turn if you did not activate the item. In this case, we have attack for 20. Honestly, go ahead and draw me a couple more. All right, so Jack Queen hits pretty hard. There's 40 damage there. There's another 20. So 60 damage in the first turn feels pretty good. We are going to use this every turn, so we're not going to get the curse. This would be a great time to be able to play our Shank of Hearts, but unfortunately we can't. Attack 10 is probably incoming. We could use our Scroll of Vulnerability here. It lasts for how many turns? It's just vulnerable 1. So we ideally want to do that when we have Shank of Hearts available as well. So probably use it next turn if we don't very... Confounded is scary. If we don't very obviously have a kill. So chuck the 9 away. So a 4-5 is only going to do 18, and Queen 2 hits for 12. So we're sitting at 30. Vulnerable is only going to bump that to 45. If we grab the king from them, however, now we're looking at a 50 plus a 9. So I do think we pop the vulnerability here just to make sure. That way we make it out without taking any damage, because we have to fight a second elite right away. So a 3-card straight, attack for 32. Any cards at least 36 is cursing everything and return all cards. Okay. Fortunately, not summing to 36 and don't have the straight, so we can kind of focus on our own thing right now. Unfortunately, in order to draw 2, we'd have to cycle both of these, which ended up not being terrible, but we basically just have to hit you for 17, and that's it. Oh, I didn't see this. They have an ability that they draw an extra card when hit as well. King, Queen, 2-card straight for 50. I mean, I think this is a good vulnerability turn. I also think this is a good turn to steal the 7. All right, this is a great turn. Use the vulnerability, hit you for 52, which becomes 78, and then hit you for another 20, which becomes 30, and then you should be dead next turn, which ace 8 gets us to 19. There we go. So with those coins, obviously there's some upgrades we want, but now we can go back to the shop and take a little bit of a closer peek around. Cards at least 30, attack 38. I like the inflame all. It's very simple, and then we could get the bag upgrade as well. 2 cards straight is attack for 1.5x, and it upgrades the straight, but not the attack multiplier. Lightning damage is interesting. So it's actually not do 78 damage. It's do 1 to 78 damage randomly. In Any cards adding to exactly 10 cure all negative effects and heal 5. And then poison. Very first run I did was poison. And I can tell you poison is quite strong. So the item upgrade costs 8. So we would not be able to get Orderly Sword. And I feel like having two card straight cards is kind of redundant. Granted, this one doesn't have a cooldown, so it's arguably just better. But I'll take this, upgrade our number of items. And so now we can slot that in and see, it seems pretty good. Also, what do you have for sale? I think we're okay on food and we'll gain enough energy. Bless 25 is pretty decent. Block 20 consumable. I'm going to be honest with you, that's a pretty nice consumable to have in a pinch. It's got 3 uses, which you will run through 3 uses reasonably quick. Honestly, go ahead and heal me for the last 10 there, and I think that's good. So cave, we do 2 fights in a row. Treasure is a random item. I don't think items are necessarily super important right now. 6 chips for an elite fight versus going here. Now, granted, we might end up with an item that's better than one of the 4 we have showing right now. 1 card rank 10 or higher, attack 15. So it's easily showing right now. We can take care of it if need be. I'm assuming that the AI gets to choose on its discard, but let's find out. This is going to replace itself. 3, 4 to cycle those. And then probably just gem this. And we've got a 10 jack for a 2-card straight. Boom. So it discarded its jack. It may actually just be random. Or it may be its highest card. We've got a 7 there. We can inflame and draw. 7 and draw. And that gives us a jack queen that we can smack for 20. So we are going to take 15 damage here unless we block. Honestly, I'm happy with the block on this one. And then easily enough, we've got jack queen for 40, and that takes care of the rest of this enemy. All right, random item. Let's see if it ends up better. Traveling merchant. I mean, we don't have much money here. In fact, we don't have enough money to buy anything. So there's probably some pretty decent stuff there. We don't have the cash. Random item. So it's just another one of what we already have. So we can just scrap this for 2 chips. And gem draw is nice. You know, if you're going to use your gems, it's good to have better ones in a pinch. All right, attack 34 is pretty difficult for us to deal with. Curse 41 isn't. I feel like we use our items pretty much every time. So give me a draw 2. I would prefer to use the jack and the knife. It will replace itself. So we can go 3, 4 here. For 14, it doesn't seem great. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal the 10. Give me a 10 jack for the 2-card straight, 40 damage. And then honestly just draw, and we drew a queen ace. Couldn't ask for a much better gem there. All right. I mean, you go king ace for 26, and I think that feels pretty good. But let's 10 first. And drop a 6 for inflame. And then double ace is actually less than king ace right now. All right, so we're cursed, but this is one that we're going to use pretty much every time. 4, 5 gets in for 18. 7 replaces itself, and then queen 3 for 13, and then you should be dead next turn. Easy enough. There's 16 and get the kill. So making it through some of these tougher fights without taking damage feels quite good. I don't think I've ever actually run through a nothing node before. So rest and restore. Hunt to gain 2 food. I don't think food is in a bad spot right now. Let's refill our scroll of vulnerability and leave. So we can go tavern, mine, feeble wizard. Buy as much of energy as you're willing to sell for 1 each. We're going to be at 12. I would gladly sell 9 of it. Are you scary? I don't know what Blinks' eye is supposed to mean. But attack 24, at least 10. I mean, that seems easy. But yeah, why don't we sell down to 3? We could upgrade card draw again. I don't know that we need to. In fact, I'm going to sit on the money right now. I feel like we're in a decent spot. There's a lot of things to spend money on. All right. Draw 2. King Ace hits for 52, but then we don't get to use our Black Dagger. How about we draw? Okay, so that works. We'll throw that down here. You get inflamed 15. We do that for 52. We do that for 18. And you're going to blink, which I think that just means they basically skip their turn. So right now that's 12, but not 16. So you're looking to attack for 24. This is a pretty bad turn, not gonna lie. I'm gonna throw the king away to draw 2. I'm gonna throw the 8 away to inflame and draw. I'm gonna attack for 14, and then I'm gonna put up some block. I could steal the 9, but I'll just block and we'll only take 4 here. Okay, so first off, 7 goes there. King for 30. Or we go king there. And I mean, you're not attacking, so we just hit you, and then you should be dead next turn. 7 goes there, 9 queen for 19, and that gets the kill. All right, elite fight. And we're almost at the first floor boss. Attack 5. Oh yeah, so this guy basically, you want to try to kill them before they end up running away with a bunch of your money. They will slowly gain a larger hand as the battle goes on. I think we have to start here. This is a really bad hand. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Yeah, this seems fine. Give me an attack for 40, 7 there, and then 16 there. Cycle those. Queen, king would be great to feed into Shank of Hearts. We'll instead do that and flame all for 15, and then hit you for 20. All right, we've got Jack Ace hits you for 21. Actually, this is insanely strong, is we steal the queen and then do Jack Queen and hit you for 80. Because the attack gets doubled if both cards are hearts, and we hit with a Jack Queen straight flush, essentially. We'll go battle you for 3, and we're sitting on a lot of money now. Essentially, I'm going to be saving up for a shop at this point and seeing if we can't get like some really good items or a blacksmith where we can get some good card upgrades. So we'll dump this, draw 2, and what an awful, awful draw. I'm going to sort these by suit. No 4-card flush, so we're in a good spot there. How does Black Dagger Infernal upgrade? Does it end up just being more cards? Yeah, 2 black cards and flame all, 3 and flame all. Yeah, okay. So let's do this. It'll replace itself. At the very least, we can hit you for 18 and 7. We probably should have used a gem there. We somehow got poisoned. Oh, draw 1 when hit. Yep, wasn't paying attention. That's on me. Let's dump the 10 and draw 2. I'll dump the 4 and draw. So right now we're not in danger. Basically, this would have to be a spade, heart, or diamond. They would have to draw a spade, heart, or diamond, which is entirely possible. All right, that's 4 diamonds. So we got hit again, and this is where the run goes downhill very quickly. So we need a good turn here. Dump a 2-5. Queen King hits for 50. 6 replaces itself. We're going to go for vulnerable, hit you for 75. 16 becomes 24. It's not good enough. Draw more. 18, that's going to hit for 27. If I steal the king, that's going to be 25. That's going to hit for still not enough. We would basically need double kings, because that would hit for 30, would become 45. All depends on how deep I want to go with the gems, basically. All right, we got what we needed. I really had to fish for it there, because otherwise we were going to take another hit of poison damage and be in a really rough spot. And I still think we're likely going to die to this boss, because this boss blocks big and attacks big. The block doesn't concern me as much because we do quite a lot of damage, but we don't have much that we can do about this attack. And what an awful opening hand, by the way. I'm just going to open with a gem. At the very least, we can dump the 9, draw 2. There's an inflame. It replaces itself, and this is still a garbage hand. It's going to be 22, I guess. I mean, that's really all we can do here. That's a pretty bad turn. At the very least, we're getting a little inflame. So more block is likely. Attack is impossible as it is right now. So replace that, draw 2, queen ace for 21, or honestly, I think inflame is going to be a pretty good source of damage for us here. Attack 16, I think you just go for that. Eight, 9 hits for 68. That gets through the block and then some. Honestly, I think this is a good turn to pop vulnerable. Yeah, I don't want to think about it too hard. Hit for 68. That becomes minus 55 life, all said and done. I'd like to hold on to this, so I'm going to gems and throw the jack down, draw a couple more. Throw the jack in here, and then 8 ace for 19. There's 29 life down. And didn't have enough to play either one. So 10 jack hits you for 20. Throw the 10 away. No black cards. We can steal a jack to do that. And then hit you for 20. So we keep ticking the inflame up. Really don't want to throw away a queen. That's actually gonna... So a 2-3 hits for 20 here, which is kind of hilarious if you think about it. That is the power of Shank of Hearts. All right, so big block got put up, but the inflamed damage did hit. 4 red cards is a possibility here. If we don't block, we die. We might want to steal the ace, depending upon how things are looking. Throw the 6 away. And yeah, I think we don't have enough. So I think we have to block just in case. And that's a shame, because if we didn't end up needing that, then we're in a bad spot here. All right. Gem to draw. 3-5. Cycle. I cycled the 6. Didn't mean to do that. Ace King hits harder than, well, so that hits for 52. That gets through the block. Jack goes there. 8 ace for 19. We might live. It's gonna be real tight though. We can use food. I do need to remember that we can use food in a pinch. Just ideally don't want to have to do that. So cycle those out. Replace the 8 with something hopefully better. That is not better. 4 red cards is not within the scope of possibility. Attacking for 18 doesn't really do us anything. But it is what it is. 3 black cards showing, so it's just going to be more block. Chuck the ace, draw 2. An 8 is showing. A king is also showing. But we can't steal. I was going to say steal the king, but I think you just throw the 20. Throw the 5 in there. And 9-10 does hit for 38. It ain't nothing. All right, 4 red cards is within the realm of possibility. I'm going to eat. Cannot eat during combat. Okay, so if both of those cards are red, we do in fact lose here. Unless all right, so here's the crazy thing. The inflame, I believe, happens before the item ability is used, which would mean that if we get this to inflamed 36, which we can do if we draw a king, then I believe the boss dies before we take the 44 damage and die ourselves. That is not a king. That is not a king. Okay. So in this case, we do 22 damage and it's blocked, which actually I think the inflame would have done that anyways. So if these are red, which they are not, we are okay. Dump that, draw 2. 5-6 hits for 22. 2 goes there. Jack 4 hits for 14. We did exact damage, which actually gives you +1 score. Funny enough. All right, so that was a pretty tense fight, but we managed to make it out of it. Rest for the night. Spend energy for food. Refill a consumable. Let's refill the defense potion. And this is where I made it with the rogue last night before I stopped. And ideally, I wouldn't cut episodes up, but I feel like these are long enough that I probably need to do that. That said, I also think it's entirely possible that we die here pretty soon, so I'm going to keep it going. I haven't even seen the third world on either character yet, so I think because it's likely enough that we're going to die soon, probably just keep it rolling. You give food, so I think that's probably where we want to be. Very scary, because a lot of this is not direct damage that we can easily block, it's damage to ourselves. Gonna do that. Place itself. Guess we'll just attack there, and we're safe now. The likelihood of one of those being another black card is reasonably high. So dump that, draw 2. 10 Jack does hit for 40. Get me with an inflamed 17 and then attack for 15. Confounded, cannot remove curse. That's fine. Honestly, a decent cycle. We'll throw some inflame out there. We'll hit you for 21. I'm feeling okay. So we can't remove curse, and they increase by 25% per turn. So we need to use all of these, which we usually do anyways. We'll throw a queen in there. Oh, so the curse doesn't go away, but we're still avoiding the damage by doing this. That attacks for 28, that attacks for 18, and you're dead, so the curse damage doesn't matter anyways. Probably gonna just buy some upgrades, because I'm wasting some money by sitting on it, so why don't we start with more card draw? And probably still leave it at that, so we have some good money going into a shop in the future. And then I'm interested in checking out this dungeon, even though it's likely to kill us. I believe in dungeons, you fight 2 elites in a row. Alright, so this is very spooky. With what's showing, impossible to hit 7 black cards. 8, 9 does hit for 34. You know, bird in the hand and whatnot. Cycle those. Throw that down and then hit for 17. All right, 7, draw. Curse 20. Honestly, we'll throw that down and hit you for 21. All right, 7, draw. 8, 9 hits for 34, 6 for inflame, 5, 6 for 11 damage down there. I would really love a blacksmith. Man, 10 Jack would be 80 damage right now. That said, we'll do that. Throw the 10 there. Jack Queen for 20. That seems good enough. You're down to 2. Now you're dead. Thus far, we've been doing enough damage to keep the enemies at bay. Contain an artifact that will give you cinder bolts, but you will have to fight the guardian of the tomb. Cinder bolts. When enemies take fire damage, they are also struck by lightning for the same amount. Inflame does do fire damage, I believe. But the other alternative is we go to nothing and go around it and hit the blacksmith much more safely. Give you recovery 1. Oh, that's really good. So it returns a card back to our hand after we use it. I feel like there's just too much of a likelihood that we die here. But Cinder Bolts basically doubles the damage of our Inflame card, and we're likely to upgrade it. Oh, we get the Cinder Bolts first. Okay. Well, that might actually help. Curse 4 to 3 random items. So basically, we're scared about root attack. We've got some energy, so we can steal if necessary. You know what? 8, 9 is 34. 7, 8 is 30. So why don't we inflame 9? And then 7, 8 for 30. And I think we steal the 10 and do an ace 10 for 21. I just saw that this guy has 439 life. Okay. 5 black cards is possible, but unlikely. I'm not necessarily going to play with that in mind. Honestly, our aces, basically anything we put into Black Dagger Infernal, or Black Infernal Dagger is doubled at this point. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm just going to cycle this ace first. We got a 7, which we can throw in there. It's a shame that Jack is a diamond instead of a heart. But I still think I'm going to steal it. Do a Jack Queen for 40. And then ace 10. I feel like this is a good time to pop vulnerable. So we're going to hit for 60 here. Plus another 32. Good damage. That's true. So lightning damage is not necessarily doubled because the lightning damage is random from 1 to the number. So in this case, it's 74% of whatever the inflamed damage would be. Inflame 68 is pretty scary. And there's 5 red cards showing, so even if we steal one, it doesn't stop it. And we're not going to win this round. Okay, so throw something in there. Throw that in there. Draw. All right, Jack Ace does hit a little harder at least. Yeah, stealing something isn't going to help us here. I mean, there was so much. So basically, we can't use Drawstone right now. Which is fine. I mean, it's not the end of the world. 5 black cards is possible. We may want to steal this king. In fact, I can almost guarantee you that's a good idea here. Because that's an attack for 52. That replaces itself. We'll attack for 18, and then we'll just ignore that Drawstone exists. And hope that both of those aren't... Yep, okay, good. 4 red cards. Very, very possible that that pops up here. Give me some Inflame. Hit for 19. And just cross our fingers. Alright. Very scary. We pretty much have to rely on our Inflame damage here, unless we get a really good Shank of Hearts roll. Root attack is showing. We can't steal, and we can't block. No, we can block. We have to block. So we'll still take 22 damage here. And then we do that and hope for a straight. We did get a straight, so we can attack for 22. And I believe the inflamed damage is going to trigger before they get to attack. Finally, we get to go to a blacksmith. All right. So, draw 3. Very, very good. 2 cards, doubling down on the inflame. So we're going to definitely upgrade knife. I feel like upgrading knife again is incredibly strong. We're going to upgrade Black Infernal Dagger. And then we can't upgrade anything else. With 14, we could pop item slots up by 1. But we just got a lot more powerful. Knife being 2 cards doubled instead of 2 cards summed is so much more powerful. So we pretty much only have one real route here. I mean, we could go up this way and do nothing and get 3 guaranteed chips, but this right here is 10 chips, and I'm not interested in playing scared right now. So opening right out of the gate with 7 to draw 2. I'll take the 9-10 for 38. Although now we don't have a black card to put in there. Now we do. So this is attack for 50. I'll do that though and hit you for 46. 3 of a kind. Let's put you back in number sort. So if that's a 6 or a 3, we're getting hit for 32 here and stunned, which is bad. Okay. Lucky us. If this is a 3 or a jack, we're in dire straits. Don't think it'll end up mattering though. So draw 2. Inflame there. So it's inflamed for 14. Hit you for 52. And that hurts a lot. If either of those is a 2, I think we have to draw so we can at least do something. Okay. Titan Casino, it would be nice to have gone to the flea market. Titan Casino is pretty decent. I think we have to eat a couple food here just to try to stay alive. Oh, we can only eat 1 food per step. And this is our only option, and we might die here. Draw +1 visible every turn, so we've got to kill you quick. And 2 black cards is attack 11 and it's reusable. Okay. That said, this is a 52 showing. I'm going to gem first. Let's cycle this. 6-7 is 52. Jack Queen is 40. So we'll 6-7 for 52. Small inflame, and then Jack Queen for 40 there. Not a black card, draw +1 visible, so attack 11 is definitely incoming. And I don't think we want to try to stop it with energy. That said, we could steal the 7. Let's start there. Queen Ace hits for 42. You're also getting +1 visible cards. I mean, I feel like we just really have to rush him down. And just accept that we need to use a potion of defense here. And then dump that. That hits for 42. 4-5 there, Queen Ace there. Okay. Continuing to have no block continues to be a problem. Which one is Titans 21? Okay, yeah, I did this one last night. Cool. So this is blackjack, but you play 3 hands at the same time. I would like 3 food and 7 money. The 3 red doesn't matter too much to me. Ace showing over here. That's a little spooky, not gonna lie. In that case, let's really focus on winning over here. And let's leave our options open. So definitely hit me. So that's 20. This would be 18. I'm definitely going to want to hit again. So give me... Actually, there's 21. So we auto win there, throw the jack over there, and hit me. We can bust middle and it won't matter. That would put us at 20. That puts us at 20, and we will stop. All right, so we actually got all 3. I'm not upset about it, for sure. The 7 money is the biggest thing. All right, and then from an upgrade perspective, I mean, we're so close to the sands that it's difficult for me to warrant spending money on upgrades right now. But let's make our gems just a little bit better. But really, I'm saving these for the shop. Or a blacksmith again. So if we do make it to the pyramid, we're closing in on an hour here. I will probably stop this episode there. At least if we heal. 5 cards, rank 10 or lower, attack 36. 3 cards, 10 or higher, freeze 28. I mean, that's a 52 right out of the gate. Throw the 8 down. Okay. Oh, I totally forgot that this is up to 2 cards now. I literally, like, just upgraded it. All right, give me a 5-8. King here. No. King ace. King 4. I think that was the most damage possible. All right, so our Black Infernal Dagger is frozen. 5, 10 or lower is certainly possible with the hand that's showing right now. I think we got to pop a gem here so that we can draw. And I think you ace and then shove the rest in here. So that unfreezes that, and then we can hit you with an inflamed 7 and draw. Okay. Eight, 9 showing. So I think you just go ahead and do the 34. Queen 2 hits for 24. Honestly, throw that. And that was probably not the wise move. Yeah, go ahead and draw. Ace 9 gets us there. Okay. This is turning into something. It really is. All right, you've got poison and attack. Okay. 10, Jack, Queen, and King all count as even. So that's 5 odd cards showing. We'd have to steal 2. All right, that's pretty rough. That is very rough. Got a Jack, Queen for 40. I will steal your 7. Chuck it into our drawstone. King Ace hits for 52. And then I'll draw. Ace 5 and Flame 16. So we're going to take the poison, and like the poison does kill us here, just by the way. There's an Inflamed 17 showing. Throw this for draw. King Ace hits for 52. I'll click the block potion. I'll steal an ace. And I'll click end turn and just pray. They died from the inflamed damage. It doesn't get much luckier than that. All right. 20 max HP, learn scrounging at campsites. You gain the ability to acquire chips in addition to resting. Learn scouting. Campsites, you gain the ability to reveal 3 locations ahead in addition to resting. Okay. Troll Casino. So we are going to be able to restore some HP and gain some food. I will do that. I will heal. So we're going to go ahead and finish up this before we go to the dungeon. We'll do the dungeon in this episode, but before we progress any further, because the dungeon might kill us. Troll Casino, Guild, Dungeon, Wizard Tower. Does 20 max HP heal us? It does not. Okay. Well, we should have done that before resting. Give me the troll poker. I mean, I know it's ridiculous, but like 10 queen king ace showing. And then I'd probably take the energy. So this is the same thing as the blackjack. We're trying to beat the current hand. I believe the dealer draws too. Currently 2, 3, 4 is showing. Like they don't have anything showing. Basically we're just fishing for a jack here. Ace 2, 4. And 7 goes over there. 5, ace, 7. So there's a pair of 7s. There's our 5. So we've got a straight there. Ace has to go there. 10, 4 goes there, and we need a jack, and we didn't get it. Okay, so king high. We actually won with ace high. All right. So we got a little bit of everything. No upgrades, no shops. Not gonna lie, it's a little frustrating, but okay. Attack 4 and flame 1. Reusable. We're not going to be able to stop you. We got to just go ham. So cycle those. Good hand. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to do this. Hit you with the inflame. Hit you with an attack 80. And a 44. Inflame 3 doesn't scare me that much. Got an 8. King 10 does hit for 50. At the moment, you're hitting for 8 plus some more inflame. I'll steal the 5. It's not much, but it stops the flammable at least. And then we can hit for 50. Cycle the red 7. 7 ace is inflame all 18 and draw 8, 9 hits for 34, 3, 5 hits for 16, and you'll die from inflame before anything happens. Okay. Next fight. 1 spade, attack 8, damage cannot be blocked. This one is easily the most frustrated. You basically just hope for them to have a second spade so they run away. I'll toss the jack. Got a 5, 6 for 22. That ain't great. Inflame all 18, 5, 6 for 22, 3, 4 for 14. That was a pretty weak turn overall. This one's looking a little better. All right, king ace for 52, queen 6 for 16 inflame. That's a little better. Ditch the 8. Double 10s hits for 40 and you're dead. All right. Big money. Wizard Tower. Honestly, yeah, go ahead and hit me with both of those. Leave area, and I think that's where we're going to leave off the episode for today. I was expecting to die before this point, but we're actually popping off kind of to an absurd degree. I think we probably hit some upgrades here real quick, and go ahead and bump the cards drawn up, and we're probably going to go for some food and keep it trucking along. Honestly, go ahead and give me some sight range as well, because an inn, nice. Church of Diamonds, good. Tavern, nice. Campsite, very nice. Hunting for food is actually going to be very beneficial, so I think we're going to take this path, go through the campsite, and go from there. But that's going to be in the next episode. With the way things are working out right now, this episode is coming out on Wednesdays, so you will see the remainder of this run more than likely on Friday. So make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can see that. Like this video to feed it to the algorithm and let more people find out about it. Make sure you go check out twitch.tv/Runt9 Plays for the live streams where you can see games like this and a whole heck of a lot more. But until next time, I'm Runt9, and I'll see you later.